Good morning and welcome to Unity, spirituality with open hearts and open minds. I'm so thrilled you're all here this day, whether it's here in person in our sanctuary or via Zoom. You are all welcome, one and all. And this Sunday is actually Pentecost, which is a wonderful time where Holy Spirit moves through the people. And each one realizes they've been sent to be the presence of the divine in the world. And so I'll talk about that a little more later. But just feel that presence and feel the people who are here in body and who are here in spirit, and realize that we are so blessed to be part of a spiritual family here at Unity in Port Townsend. And we got a lovely card this week that I'd like to start with, which comes from Ida and Flip, written by Ida this week. Dear everyone at Unity, we attended most every Sunday during the pandemic and our challenging times. Thank you all, with 2 exclamation marks. So we send great blessings to Ida, who's still in our midst and probably at home on Zoom. Hi, Ida. We all appreciate your gratitude, and we are in gratitude for you, for Flip, and for all you brought to our world, both of you. So let us celebrate the gifts we each bring by singing Come Light, Light of God, as we light candles. The Christ candle here, and you at home are welcome to light a candle as well. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Let us say who and what we are as a spiritual community. We are an authentic, transformative spiritual community centered in God. We co-create a world that works for all. And with that shared dedication, we now sing, I Am Home.
I am home, I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom, in the love of God, I am home. I am home, I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom, in the love of God, I am home. And I would like to invite, are we doing our opening song?
Yes,
I'd like to
yes.
invite Janelle and Shakti up to help me lead this song. And if you look on your song sheets, you'll see the words for I am as God created me. And you'll see that there's an A part and a B part. And we'll sing both all of the A part, we'll sing the B part, and then you on that side pay close attention to the A part, because you're going to then sing that, and Jan and Shakti will lead you. And while you're singing the A part, people on this side, you're going to sing with me the B part. So we'll do the A part, we'll do the B part, and then we'll sing them at the same time. A musical challenge this morning. Oh. I am as God created. going to go with these guys. Bees are going to come with me. Are you ready for this? Here we go. I am the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory I am. In the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory I am. In the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory I am. One more time sounds good. In the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory, in the light in the love in the glory I am. Everyone on A, I am, as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Good job. Thank you, ladies.
I guess with that, we don't need two songs, right? You know, that's a lot to ask for us on a Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. So, there were three people out looking at the ocean one evening, looking at the same sunset. One saw an immense physical beauty and enjoyed the event itself. This one was sensing, like most of us in the world, deal with what we can see, what we can touch, what moved, and what's fixed. The second person saw the sunset and enjoyed all the beauty that the first person did. Additionally, this person also enjoyed the comprehension of the rotation of the planets and the stars. Using imagination, intuition, and reason, this person explained the beauty of the sunset. The third person, however, saw the sunset knowing and enjoying all that the first two people did, with the faculty to process from seeing to explaining to tasting. This person saw the awe before the underlying mystery, the coherence and the spaciousness that created the connection with everything else. Engaging this third eye is the best, for to taste the texture of the mystery of creation is indeed our birthright. Each day, the door to spiritual fulfillment opens. Life continually presents itself to us with opportunities to be awake, to love, and to serve. May we seize these opportunities and taste all that life has to give us. The daily word for the day is truth, with a capital T. The light of truth shines in my heart. Like a kaleidoscope's shifting pattern of dazzling colors, my life is always changing. Some of the changes I may like, and others I may not. But I accept these changes nonetheless. I enjoy pleasurable moments while learning and growing through the more unpleasant ones. No matter where I find myself along the spectrum of human experience, I take comfort in spiritual truth. God is changeless, my rock and refuge in times of struggle, and the wings that lift me up in times of ease and bliss. I remain steady and calm even as I navigate life's inevitable changes, finding lasting comfort in the truth of God as absolute goodness. As I travel along my unique path, the steady light of truth shines from within me. And from 1 John, Yes, I am writing you a new commandment that is true in him and true in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. The light of truth shines in my heart. And so it is. Amen.
We now come to the time in our service where we're blessed to join one another in prayer and in meditation together. I invite you to let the beautiful song, the chant Sanctuary, carry you into the sanctuary at the core of your being. From this place that we share in the outer world, journey to your inner sanctuary. And then at the completion of the meditation, we'll use it to bridge us back into the sanctuary that is our lives. Sanctuary.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you.
Allow yourself to settle in to your inner sanctuary, that place of peace and communion with the Spirit of God, the presence of the Most High. Allow Spirit to gift you with your own space this day, maybe indoors or outdoors, imagined, or a place you've actually been in this physical realm. Let Spirit gift you and allow yourself to be surprised, letting your imagination gift you with this inner sanctuary for this moment in your life. Allow yourself to become aware with your senses of where you are. Allow it to become so real that you have stepped into this created realm of presence and possibility. In this place of presence, open to receive a prayer of awareness for Praying with the Earth by John Philip Newell. Let these words touch and inspire and infill you. Light within all light, soul behind all souls. At the breaking of dawn, at the coming of day, we wait and we watch. Your light within the morning light, your soul within the human soul, your presence beckoning to us from the very heart of life. In the dawning of this day, let us know fresh shinings in our soul. In the growing colors of new beginning all around us, let us know the first lights of our heart. Great star of the morning, inner flame of the universe, let us be a color in this new dawning. Be still and be aware for a moment. Bring yourself and your life exactly as it is into this moment. And allow yourself to be comforted and healed and energized. Allow yourself to be tenderly cared for and compassionately loved unconditionally. Allow peace to descend upon your mind so that new possibilities shine forth. What fresh shining do you feel in your soul right now? What color are you in the dawning of this new day, this new time together? In this sacred space and this awareness and knowing, I now invite you to bring all the prayers that are yours this day, for yourself, for others, for this spiritual community, for our shared world. Into this sacred space, pour them now, feeling all of us uplifting your prayers with open hearts, remaining open with open minds to see and to know so that we can receive these prayers as they are already being answered here and now. Let us pray silently or aloud, however each is so guided. We unite with these prayers all of those entrusted to our High Watch prayer chaplains. We uplift this spiritual family on this day of Pentecost and a volunteer sign-up day for us to recommit and rededicate ourselves to being those colors of light, each of which is so needed in the dawning of this day. We unite with all of those all around the world who pray for peace this day, whatever their spiritual path, wherever they live. We unite with one heart. May peace descend on earth. May peace descend on earth. May peace descend on earth. And now we did the prayer for awareness. Now receive this day's prayer of blessing. May the angels of light glisten for us this day. May the sparks of God's beauty dance in the eyes of those we love. May the universe be on fire with presence for us this day. May the new sun's rising grace us with gratitude. Let earth's greenness shine and its waters breathe with spirit. Let heaven's winds stir the soil of our soul, and fresh awakenings arise within us. Let the mighty angels of light glisten in all things this day. May they summon us to reverence. May they call us to life. Sanctuary.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you.
Namaste. I behold the divine, the Christ light in each and every one of you. I see your colors and your shinings. Bless you. And now the gift of special music.
Once there was a spark, a little seed of light, drifting through the dark, just wanting to be bright. It gently fell to earth, and joyfully it grew. Emerging in its birth as the miracle of you. We are seeds of light, children of the sun. We are born to shine, angels everyone. We are seeds of light, sown with love. Pieces of the dream God was dreaming of. Tears and fears arise when rain and shadows fall. Don't you close your eyes. You can love it all. Life was meant to live. Embrace it from the start. Remembering to give that spark inside your heart. We are seeds of light, children of the sun. pieces of the dream God was dreaming of. If ever you should go, whatever you become, may you always know where you started from, and may you never learn to hide the light you are. One day you'll return to heaven as a star. We are seeds of light, children of the sun. We are born to shine, angels everyone. We are seeds of light, sown with love. Pieces of the dream God was dreaming of. We are God's design. We are born to shine. We are seeds of light.
Oh, that was beautiful. I've never heard that before. I love it.
Found it in one of my mini books. It's Seeds of Light by James Nehan.
Oh, seeds of light. Oh, perfect. And perfect for Pentecost. All about being the presence and being the light. Oh, so this day is Pentecost, as I shared, and that's found in the book of Acts. And it's where the group gathers. And they were all coming from all over, all different places, and they were waiting. And initially, there was a belief that Jesus was going to come back right away. And they were waiting. We're going to have a party. We're waiting for you to drop down on a cloud in the middle of the party. Welcome back. And they kept waiting for that. And for centuries, and to this day, there are many people who are still waiting for that physical return of the man Jesus to come down on a cloud. And they missed, for me, the deeper part of his message, which is the minute you connect with the divine and realize you share divine Father, Mother with the man Jesus, with the spiritual being Christ, you have encountered the living Christ in a way that is deeply and profoundly personal and real. And so they were gathered and waiting, but something wonderful did happen. I think the divine knows that a lot of times we need signs and signals as to what we should do, whether we're on the right path or not. It's where you suddenly hear just the right piece of music to get you to where you need to be, where the phone rings and it's somebody that has something to say to you that's exactly what you needed in that moment to be able to move forward with your life. And so what happens to this group of people? There comes a sound like a violent wind, and it filled the entire house. Divided tongues of fire appeared. among them, and a tongue rested on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages as Spirit gave them the ability. Now there were those who said, "Oh, are they drunk already?" Well, they said, "No, it's too early in the morning. That's not it." But what's interesting is that as they spoke, each one heard the other in the language they understood. It's the exact opposite of the Tower of Babel, where they're building a tower to heaven, trying to be as high as God, and so God creates language so they can't communicate with each other anymore. This is saying God wants you to be of one family, not to lose your language, not to lose your background, your uniqueness, but to speak it, but also have the ears to hear others and to be present with others. Sounds like something we could really use in our world right now. And so, because of what happened, awe came upon everyone, because many signs and wonders were being done. All who believed were together, and they had all things in common. They went home with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all of the people. So they gathered, all these different people. Something unexpected happened. Each one was touched by the presence of Spirit. It didn't say the ones who prayed better got touched by Spirit. It didn't say those who were most pious were touched by Spirit. Those who wanted to, those who didn't want to, all of them were touched. That presence of the divine that meets us right here and right now, and it calls us to be that presence of the divine in our world. Corinne Helene said Pentecost is calling, it's a clarion call for us to come to our great work, our soul work, and to come up higher. Isn't that wonderful? Come up higher. And so this is a wonderful time of year where it's 50 days after Easter, and so it's 5, the number of foundation, the 4 elements, the 4 directions, 4 square, that's the foundation. But 5, you added a 5th element, which is the living presence of Spirit. And then 0 means on to infinity. Buzz Lightyear got it from the Bible. To infinity and beyond, 0. So this is that calling to, in your embodied life, to be the presence of God and of Spirit. It's Volunteer Sunday. So I bet you know what's coming. Are you ready to embody Spirit? Can you imagine doing something even more than you've done? Something new. Something that you might not have thought you could do, but you feel called to do. In many spiritual traditions, when you go to a monastery or to an ashram, you have to go 3 times and ask for entrance. The first time, may I come in? No. You come back when you're a little more ready. Can I come in now? No. On the 3rd ask is when the door is opened and you're welcomed in. And that's because you've really made the decision to say yes to that, to do that. You're not just on a whim going, hey, can I come join y'all for the afternoon? You're saying, this is important. This is where I want to put my time and my energy. This is where I want to share the gifts I already have and trust this circle of people of this spiritual group to help me develop gifts I didn't even know I had, and to take gifts and to grow them even stronger and farther. because that's what we're all meant to do. This title for this day is called Original Blessing. And one of the things that I love about this book, Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul, is it constantly reminds us that we were born not in original sin, but in original blessing. We are beautiful children of God. We're called, each one of us, every single one of us, that flame of fire will touch, not just some. It touches all of us. And imagination is where we begin to realize what's possible and what we can be and do. One of the things I've always loved about Port Townsend is how many people ended up here and have this amazing story to tell how they got here. All over town. It was true for Lane and I. We came and I spoke. We came to visit our friends Sarah and Jim. I spoke at the outdoor service. And a woman came up and she said, "You're our minister." And I said, "Well, yeah, I am for today." And she said, "No, you don't understand. We're looking for a minister and we have applicants, but you're our minister." And I said, "Well, I'm married to this guy from Texas, and at some point, I would love to be up here, but I just don't know how." And she said, "If you are meant to be here, Spirit will find a way." She said, "Port Townsend's like a spiritual brigadoon. It appears to those who are meant to be part of it, and it calls you here and gets you here in ways that are seemingly impossible." That was true for us. She was right. She was right. But we had to be willing to say yes and to let the process unfold. I agreed to apply, and so I did that, and Lane said, "Okay, I guess." He loved me enough to trust that I was being called to something. My heart was like torn in two almost. My love for him and our family, my love that was already present for all of you, even though I didn't even know you yet. It was that Spirit calling. And I couldn't imagine how it would work. And before I came for my interview, I had an episode of severe anemia, and they thought I might have bone marrow cancer. They did all kinds of studies, and with all of it, it all came out fine. And Lane said, "Well, if you've got something going on, you can't apply right now." And I said, "No, if there's something going on, it means I need to live right now and say yes to what's calling to my heart and just trust the unfoldings." And I was very blessed in that he was willing to do that with me. And as things came to pass, we ended up here. We lived at David and Teresa's wonderful daylight apartment. I lived there for almost a year and a half as we went through selling our house and getting Lane up here. But it was about imagining what was possible. Charles Fillmore says the imagination is that faculty of mind which images and forms. Everything that is manifest was first a mental picture and was brought into expression by this forming power. We think of imagination a lot of times as, well, that's what kids do. Imagination is one of the 12 spiritual powers in unity. Because if you can think it and vision it and step into it into your mind, then you can do it with your heart. And then that heart energy is what empowers it forward. And then you allow your body to embrace and express that which you've imagined. Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." I love that. More important than knowledge. And frequently, he talks of this, and a number of other various scientists and inventors speak of how they're working the problem and they're looking at it from all different points of view and they're playing with options and theories. And then they wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, aha. And their imagination has shown them something that their knowledge couldn't come up with, but their imagination could. This new possibility. This month in our book, Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul, sacred imagination is the theme. So I'll be talking about this today in the context of original blessing and Pentecost, and then next week I'll talk about how it's one of the 12 powers of unity. And we'll move forward through the month to see God in everything as we use our imagination. He says this at the beginning of the chapter. In the Celtic world, the imagination is the faculty of knowing. I love that. That's that knowing that you know that you know. It's a way of remembering what we have forgotten, that spirit and matter are interwoven and that time and eternity are intermingled. The imagination is also a bridge to the future, forever opening to us ways of seeing and living that we have not yet experienced. To be made of God is to be made of sacred imagination. It is to have the capacity to dream our way into new beginnings in our lives and in the world. Imagination is more important than knowledge. The man that he speaks of, that's the representative of sacred imagination, is Alexander John Scott, who lived in the 1800s, and in 1863 he was a young minister, and he refused to sign the Church of Scotland's Westminster Confession of Faith because it said that we were born wholly defiled in body and soul and wholly inclined to all evil. The doctrine of original sin. And as someone who walked this Celtic Christian path, he could not imagine that. For him, he said, what is most human is most divine. What is most divine is most human. Deeply human means affection, compassion, and love. Jesus is the divine not merely present alongside the human, but in the human and revealing the conjoining of both. It's the doctrine of original blessing, recognizing that we are born as sparks of the divine. He saw sin as being out of harmony. He said it's kind of like when a plant has blight. Is the plant blight? No. The plant is whole and complete in itself, but it has this blight, this illness. And he said that is for us what sin does. It's like a little blight. It doesn't change our essence. It doesn't define who we are. It's a condition to be noticed and treated and overcome. He said, heaven and hell are present here and now. Redemption is simply reharmonizing. Isn't that beautiful? Redemption is reharmonizing. And so we in Unity come from that school of thought that believes in original blessing rather than original sin. And when you think about what a foundational concept that is, the way you look at yourself, the way you look at your life, the way you look at other people is profoundly affected by that. If you start out going, I'm a hopeless sinner, where do you go from there? When I was a chaplain, I got to bless babies, and one of those was a little baby that was born prematurely that literally only had hours to live. And I was on duty as the chaplain, And they were a Catholic family, and they said, we've got to have our baby blessed and baptized and christened, or it will go into purgatory indefinitely. And I remember thinking, holding them with such empathy and love, and so grateful that I could look at that little tiny body and look into those little eyes and see the divine. Not a sinner, but a beautiful, beautiful, radiant soul. But I knew what they needed, and so I tried to find him a priest, couldn't find one, and I came back and I said, I'm so sorry I can't find a priest. I've called every Catholic church, and I can't get a hold of anyone. But I'd be willing to do a blessing if you would like. And they said, oh, please. We believe that God will hear your prayers. You will be as though you are a priest in that moment for us. And so I went down and got the little kit and read the little service that went for the Catholic faith, and then went up and did as best I could a christening, baptism, and blessing of this little soul. And then held the parents, and we all cried as the child went back to spirit. For me, the spark of light just returning to the light. But for them, a redeemed spark of light. And what harmonized that was simply the love that was present there. Between those parents for that child for those parents, however short a time that child was here. And my willingness to simply, okay, I'll be a channel of love. And so that's what we're all called to do, is to see that divine spark. And if someone is feeling like they're less than, they're guilty, they're wrong, offer them the gift of seeing their true souls. It's the greatest gift my brother Doug gave to me. Profoundly retarded, multi-handicapped, couldn't walk, talk, or feed himself, but looking into his eyes and walking through life with him, I always saw his soul, and he was a master that had come to initiate me on a life of service. And he did that by the time I was 3, and we then lived separately. And so we all come into this world with this amazing gifts, but we need one another to do it together, to see one another as original blessing rather than original sin. There's a wonderful book by Matthew Fox called Original Blessing. It's one that I read many years ago. I pulled it back out of my bookshelf. It's one that will always be on my bookshelf. And he talks about how that theology of coming in original sin just kind of sets you up in a completely different perception of life and soul than if you believe you came as a spark of God, as someone who's an original blessing. And he said to really live that sense of original blessing, we have to reframe our whole theology. And basically, he did creation spirituality, which many of you have studied. It's wonderful. If you haven't studied Matthew Fox's creation spirituality, gift yourself with the YouTube videos and learn a little bit more about it. And it's about how beautiful the earth is too. As we believe, the earth is a beautiful divine creation, not a horrible pit that we've been cast into. And so he said, you need to shift your whole viewpoint of not only yourself and your soul, but others and the world in general. And he said there are 4 different paths that weave together to create a life where you can absolutely live this original blessing and ground this new theology in who you are and how you approach life. He said there's a via positiva and a via negativa. There's the positive path, the negative path. The positive path is being aware of and seeing the beauty of life and of nature and of others. It's seeing the radiant light and the blessings in everything. The via negativa is the path where you go through the dark night of the soul, where you're challenged, you're in places of darkness and shadow. And he said, those are places to befriend the darkness, not fight it. It's part of the soul path. He said it's the perfect time to just let go and surrender. Each of these vias, each of these paths have their gifts and their blessing. And so as I was meditating with this, I saw via positiva and via negativa as like a line that grows across this way. It's that polarity that we see in the world. How we define things. Oh, that's good. That's over on the positiva. Oh, I don't like that. That's via negativa. It's that polarity, but it's all part of the life and soul experience. The other two paths are the via creativa and the via transformativa. That's hard to say. And those I, in meditation, got are the upward line. The via creativa is befriending your divinity in the midst of the world. We're said we're made in the image and likeness of God. God is a master creator. We are meant to be co-creators. We're meant to create our lives and our world individually and collectively. That's that lower part of that vertical line where spirit intersects with earth. And then the top part of that vertical line is the via transformativa, which is where we befriend our new creations, see things with new eyes, develop the compassion of spirit, and see that what we've done creatively has helped transform us from a spiritual perspective. And so I believe in equidistant cross rather than the classic Christian cross. The equidistant cross, you've got those four quarters, the two lines that intersect in balance, and if you draw a line around, they're all held in circle. The positiva, the negativa, the creativa, the transformativa. With your soul at the center, getting to dance with all of those energies. And so Pentecost calls us to do just that, to dance with the energies. It says in the book, we need one another in this great work, like-minded souls. We also need our inner sense of authority to challenge those outer power structures and establish systems of thought. This is not the kind of work in which we can always expect to have the approval and support of the majority. We are actually exiles, longing for a vision that could nurture a sacredness of earth and human soul. This work must rest on an integrity of the vision as well as the certainty that we are calling for a truth that belongs to the human soul, all human souls. From the prayer earlier, all light within all light, all soul behind our souls, the life at the heart of all life. Makes our life have real meaning, doesn't it? I said before that you had to approach 3 times to be admitted into a spiritual community by many of the ancient traditions. Well, we're inviting you this day to join and volunteer and put your energy, be the presence that you've been meant to be in the midst of this spiritual family. And Sharon Meddy said that you can be asked, and the first 2 times you can say no, but the 3rd time you have to say yes. And so I want you to imagine, and right now, At any point, first, second, or third time, you can say yes, but by the time you get to the third time, you can't say no anymore. And as we do this, watch and notice what holds you back so that you can say yes. So, will you serve? Yes. Oh, I love it. Will you serve? Yes. Will you serve? Yes. I hear all of you at home too. You have to do it too. And so all of us can be a part of this. And as a gift to you for saying yes, I want to share something that David sent this week from Maya Angelou called Continue. Touched my heart. My wish for you is that you continue. Continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. Continue to allow humor to lighten the burden of your tender heart. Continue, in a society dark with cruelty, to let the people hear the grandeur of God in the peals of your laughter. Continue to let your eloquence elevate the people to heights they had only imagined. Continue to remind the people that each is as good as the other and that no one is beneath nor above you. Continue to remember your own young years and look with favor upon the lost and the least and the lonely. Continue to put your mantle of protection around the bodies of the young and defenseless. Continue to take the hand of the despised and diseased and walk proudly with them in the high street. Some might see you and be encouraged to do likewise. Continue to plant a public kiss of concern on the cheek of the sick, the aged, and the infirm, and count that as a natural action it is to be expected. Continue to let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer. And let faith be the bridge you build to overcome evil and welcome good. Continue to no longer vision, which comes to enlarge your range and to increase your spirit. Continue to dare to love deeply and to risk everything for the good thing. Continue to float happily in the sea of infinite substance, which sets riches aside for you before you even had a name. Continue, and by doing so, you and your work will be able to continue eternally. Continue. Thank you for being such a blessing to the world. And I look forward to all of the blessings we're going to share together in the days and months and years yet to come. So I invite you now to stand and we'll sing Look as we embody and recognize by singing and moving our bodies that we are truly here present and that we continue.
We'll do it several times till you have it. Look all around, above and below. Look deep within, and in a moment you'll know you are a being of light, so pure and divine. Nothing can take it away. It's what is given with this life. Do you remember? Look all around, above and below. Look deep within, and in a moment you'll know you are a being of light, so pure and divine. Nothing can take it away. It's what is given with this life. Do you remember? Look all around, above and below. Look deep within, and in a moment you'll know you are a being of light, so pure and divine. take it away. It's what is given with this life.
So, this is the time in our service where we lighten up and lighten up our pocketbooks. How's that? This is the time where we receive the offering. So I invite you to take out your gift of time, talent, and treasure. And we will offer that up in service of not only the spiritual community, but our greater community. And we do that by affirming who and what we are as we bless the offering. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am, all that I have, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
For it all, for all of it, all that we are, all that we may become, all that we've been, us, humanity, the planet, such possibilities. And it starts right here, right in my own center, with a heart of gratitude, a place of understanding, a knowing that I'm part of a great creation and sent by my Creator to do something, if only to be a light bulb in the corner of my house. But I will let that shine regardless. So we receive these gifts, we send them forward to all the light bulbs in this spiritual community across the planet, that we all may find our spark of divinity and let that shine and know for a fact that we are all connected, all part of one huge organism. We do that in understanding our relationship to all the rest of the organisms. We will find heaven on earth. And we can create that in our lifetime. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, we have an expanded announcements today because it is the Sunday that it is. And I'm going to invite a couple people up to explain what we are doing. However, a couple things before we shoot off onto that one. On the 26th is a membership Sunday. So if you're interested, if you're not a member of the church and are interested in being a member of the church and want to know what the heck this is all about, on the 26th, following service with pizza, is Membership Sunday. So Pam will talk about the history of the church and the history of this particular spiritual community and other things and get us all connected. So if that's something that you're curious about, or if you already are a member and you want to get a tune-up, the 26th, right? Okay, let's see. I need to have Diane Fox and Sherry Mon come up, and they're going to talk about all of the ways that we can support this community with our talents, I assume.
Thanks. Welcome, everyone. This is a very special Sunday. It's Volunteer Day, and we hope that all of you will stay afterwards, go to the back 2 tables, go out and have some finger food. Just stick around and let's talk about how we can, how you can add your special talents to our Sunday service. I have 3 committees here that are very, very important to our congregation, and we need people to sign up for them. You know, as we spent time on Zoom, but now we're getting back to service on Sundays, and as more and more people come, we have some very important volunteer spots that need to be filled. The first one really is TLC committee. And, you know, we changed during the COVID years, but our needs of our congregation did not change. In fact, I think in many ways they were expanded. And TLC is Tender Loving Care Committee. And the purpose is to provide support to congregants for special circumstances such as medical, bereavement, meals, transportation, or respite care. We've had a small group of people who have really been willing to step up and help during this time with those needs, but we really, really need some people to help out with that. The second important area is greeter ushers, and we need 2 volunteers for each Sunday. And that would just be welcoming or getting the donations, the gifts, and bringing them up front. So it's a very easy thing. You don't even need to practice. I know all of you are just perfect at that. So I'm hoping that you will come to the back table, and I'll talk to you about how you can give some gifts to our congregation. The last one is hospitality, and I'm a coffee drinker. Tom, can you give a wave? This Tom, as far as I'm concerned, he's the pillar here because he comes early, he makes coffee. It's not easy, really. You're not going to fill this thing up and, you know, measure out the coffee, and then he cleans up afterwards, and all the coffee cups and everything. So I'm very grateful to Tom. But we do need some people to possibly help out in that area. So I have 3 areas that I hope you will come and talk to me about. Okay? Thank you.
And the other general theme is to help with the various fundraisers we have. As you know from our other talking at other places, we really rely on the income from the fundraisers to help keep our ship afloat through the year. We love and thank you for the donations that you give. In addition, though, we need another amount that would help us stay afloat, and that's what we receive from the fundraisers. And over the year, we're planning to have about 3 or 4 fundraisers that are fun, and the first one this year was our garage sale. That was wonderful, and it helped us several months worth of extra money that we needed to stay afloat. Our next one coming up is the Christmas in July. This is new, and it's going to be great fun. We have 2 wonderful coordinators who will tell us more about it as we go along. But this is where we bring our treasures from home that we no longer need for Christmas, and we bring them here, and they become items that other people need in their homes. And it's kind of like a Christmas garage sale, you might say. And being that it's in July, it helps our funding, but it also helps you for Christmas. It helps you clear your home, and it helps you gather things. And some of the other items to bring are not only Christmas items, but just general gifts that you don't need anymore that would be useful for someone else. And it's going to be lots of fun. I think there's a lot of energy for that, and to get your Christmas done in July is very wonderful. You know, then you don't have to worry about it when December comes. But the real reason I think to join in on fundraisers is that it brings us together. We haven't been together for 2.5 years. I mean, we're starting to get more together now, and it's a joy to meet each other again, and the new people that have come, for them to meet the people who have been here, and the people who have been here to meet the new people. And not only is it a chance to bond and grow the love of our congregation with each other, but it's just plain fun, and it's a way to finally get into some action after we've been pretty quiet for 2.5 years. So we really invite you to sign up for the Christmas in July. There are wonderful sheets around, and they give you a list of possible roles you may take for that. And you don't have to decide right now which role. But if you do know you want to be part of a certain aspect of it, put that down. And please do sign up. It's going to be fun. Then later in the year, we have other fundraisers, too, for you to be part of. But we'll talk about that later.
I just want to add, you people on Zoom, you're not off the hook. Just put in the chat line, because, you know, we've gotten wonderful volunteers through that chat line before. So be sure, the people who are on Zoom right now, we want you to sign up.
I second the motion. Please, please do sign up, all of you.
Thank you, ladies. And Carol Nicholas, you want to say something as well? No, you need a mic. People on Zoom can't hear you.
And as she comes up, we were looking at our calendar and realizing that our Into the Mystic Fair, we weren't going to be able to do in June because of not enough time and not enough volunteers. And that, I am thrilled to let you know, is on board. We're going to do it in September. So planned middle of September, I think it's the 16th and 17th, we'll do the Into the Mystic Fair. But we had this big gap, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd been praying for insight, and I got, how about Christmas in July? It's different, it's creative, it's artsy-fartsy like Port Townsend, and we could use the same kind of format that we've used for the garage sale and for the Festival of Lights, and do something wonderful in July that will boost us so that we stay afloat as the year goes on. And Carol is one of several people who has volunteered to chair, and it's going to be wonderful. I'll let her tell you more about some of our ideas.
Okay, I need my notes. We brainstormed this week. Okay, I'm not used to doing this. Okay, okay, it's okay, I can do that part. Thank you. Okay, we brainstormed last week. There were 4 of us, and we came up with different ideas, and I think it might be easier to refer to a piece of paper where we can take on different roles, because there are many different aspects that we can play with to create a Christmas in July event. We can sell things, we can create different activities for children, a Santa's workshop. We can make cookies, we can decorate cookies, we can make cakes, we can do all kinds of things that are Christmas. Have music, have some punch because it's July, it's not cold, it's hot. We may do the ugly Christmas sweater contest, or even supplement with a tropical version, Australian. And I think that it's a creative event, and I think that also implies our own creativity. So we're certainly open to not only volunteer support, but ideas.
Yes.
It's a collective effort for our collective. That's what I would say.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank
and
you.
for all of our
Yes.
volunteer chair people. Super. Well,
I think that's it.
so all the other announcements are on the website. And just go to the interactive calendar and you'll figure out what it is that you can partake in, classes or meditations or whatever it might be.
Yes. So we ready?
So with that, let's move into our closing circle. If you want to join in a circle, we'll have the peace song and prayer for protection.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous life. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And we know
You
the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And as the light of God we shine, and as the love of God we embrace, and as the power of God we stand in truth, capital T. And as the presence of God we endeavor to express our divinity in all that we do. And with that,
We blow out the Christ candle because you're carrying the light forward.
oh
my gosh, it
birthdays!
is.
It is!
Oh, wow.
I
you're
happen to
right.
know somebody with a birthday this month.
I do.
Okay, who's got a June birthday? And on Zoom, if you want to chat real quick and put it in the little box, and June anniversaries, yes. Put your name in a box and we'll celebrate your
Okay.
birthday as well.
Anniversary.
Anniversary.
Hi,
guys.
Lane, if you're at home watching this. He was feeling a little under the weather this morning, so, yes. 30 years.
30 years.
Oh, good, the bridge
Sweet.
one. Yes, your
Hey,
bridge
30
wedding.
years. Gosh, that's just exactly how old I'm going to be.
Wow.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Oh,
All right, happy
yay.
birthday anniversaries.
Yes.
And with that, we'll blow out the Christ candle and know that the smoke that comes up is just our prayers going into the ethers.
Ethers and the light is going out in our hearts on a great wave of blessings. Woo!
Go eat cake.
Stay for the party and say yes.